Let me come into the studio with Murtala. So your quick take on this matter, and again, walk us through the processes. If in Parliament we have to oust, so to speak, I'm choosing my words carefully. In Parliament, you may have different terminologies. Adjua and make her seat available for a by-election or stuff like that. But what is your quick take on this development?
Frankly, I mean, the arrogance from these our friends is just telling. I mean, he turns around and he says that the NDC's agenda is to frustrate the people of this, frustrate the government. We are not concerned about the interests or the suffering of the people of this country.
I think those points are made.
No.
We can quickly gloss over them.
I won't gloss over them.
Okay, then make the point brief.
I won't gloss over them because he says that that is the agenda of the NDC, a party I proudly belong. First and foremost, ISE has the same position the NDC has. Show me one single civil society organization that is not in support of the position of the NDC with regards to the E-Levy. As a matter of fact, when we had the post-budget review, all the experts who were brought there, including Dr. Ali Nachan, they all raised issues with this E-Levy. Joy FM, you conducted a survey. Over 90% of the people of this country says they are against the E-Levy.
It was a survey, I think, somewhere in the Ashanti region.
Yes,
so we can't say it is a national picture. But yes, I agree.
Central University conducted a survey. Over 90% of the people of this country says they are against E-Levy. The number of people who have poured on the street of Accra demonstrating against the E-Levy, conveniently, it is the NDC. And what the NDC does is to frustrate government.
I think some of those things are said tongue-in-cheek. So let's get to this.
No, you see, we are communicating to people. People are watching us.
Right.
And that is the agenda. Anytime they want to run away from their own mess, they use the NDC as a reason. The people of this country are smarter than what my friend wants to do.
So on Adjua.
In the first place, you see, I listened to Canada, Japan, and I think Asasi Radio, I watch it on social media because I don't listen to that radio station anyway. And then when they asked him about whether the possibility of Adjua, seat being declared vacant, and that is if the NPP decides to sack Adjua from the party, they say, oh yeah, why not? I think we need to get something very clear. If Adjua decides to leave NPP, her seat will automatically be declared vacant.
Right. And
there will be an automatic by-elections.
But that decision has not been made.
That is, if she decides as a person to leave NPP, we have examples. The likes of Professor Wayuseni, when he cross-carpeted from NDC to NPP, it was automatically
yes, of course, there are procedures to follow, yes.
But if the NPP sacks her, the seat will not be declared vacant. Someone would have to petition the Speaker. The Speaker will refer it to the Privileges Committee. If the Privileges Committee takes a decision, they will bring it to plenary. And plenary...
As the full House.
The full House. We must vote. And 2/3 of members must vote in support of a decision to declare that seat vacant.
So basically, you're telling me that if they go down this road...
We will not.
They will lose one seat because you would definitely not add to the numbers for them to get 2/3.
We won't do that. So Adjua will just be in Parliament. She may be sacked from the NPP. I'm saying that if that happens, and I've heard a lot of them, the General Secretary of the NPP, it's possible. Refer it to petition the Speaker. The Speaker refers it to the Privileges Committee. If the Privileges Committee decides that, yes, let's declare the seat vacant, that final decision must be done by the full House. And per the standing orders, and also even the Constitution, you need 2/3 to support that motion, that the seat be declared vacant. We will not support it.
So in other words, the best option for the NPP is to literally beg Adjua to come back to Parliament.
You see, even if Adjua were in Ghana, they still cannot have E-Levy pass. God is speaking to them in a language they are failing to listen.
God is speaking to the NPP in a language.
Yes, but they are failing to listen. He knows. And I don't want to put certain information out here. If Adjua were to be in Ghana, they will still not have the numbers. And he knows it.
How so?
He knows.
How so? Explain.
God is speaking to them in a language they don't understand. Look, the NPP has 137. If you add the independent, they have 138.
Yes.
You have the majority, the chief whip, the majority chief whip, my good friend Honorable, who even questioned the travels of the speaker and said that virtually that the speaker was doing it deliberately just to frustrate the E-Levy. The speaker is home over a week now. Why are they not bringing the E-Levy?
So they simply don't have the numbers.
Even if Adjusafo were to be in Ghana, they will still not have the numbers. And he knows. The NPP people, they know. All the NPP members of parliament and all our colleagues know. I don't want to put that information out here. They don't have the numbers.
It's been suggested that there are other members who are also unwell. Is that
yes.
what you're pointing at?
Yes. And we wish them speedy recovery. Because I feel genuinely worried. I won't wish something, and that's why I don't want to put that information out here. God is speaking to them. But they have very strong ears. They don't want to listen. Look, this argument of whatever we do is E-Levy, this tells you how incompetent this government is. So it means that from the beginning of the year, every plan of this government was anchored on E-Levy. What smart politicians and governments do, that they would have taken into consideration the numbers we have in parliament. And they wouldn't have put all their eggs in one basket. It tells you how crass incompetent this government is. A competent government would have known that yes, this thing we are bringing in, it's possible that the opposition will not accept it. At a time when you have all these people raising questions about it, why would you tell me to pay taxes? Why would you tell me to tighten my belt when your actions are not demonstrable of humility?
Okay.
And managing even the scarce resources you have.
Andrew, on this beat, I just want us to, because now the E-Levy itself has come in, and that is why it is so important. I don't think the Dominic Kwabena MP situation would have been so crucial if this entire bit about the numbers hadn't come up, and the E-Levy as well. Your party has organized a number of town hall engagements, the last one in Wa, and some of what we were told was that without the E-Levy, even security would be compromised in certain areas. We want better roads, E-Levy. We've been told by a member of parliament that if you want free SHS to stay, the way to go is the E-Levy. Do you have any idea, and I don't have that information, so I'm going to ask you, do you have any idea how much these town hall engagements are costing the ordinary Ghanaian taxpayer? Do you have any idea you can share with us?
Well, I do not have any idea, but it's surprising that would be your focus.
No, I'm just asking a question.
No, it's literally surprising that would be a focus for a question.
Why is that a problem for you?
But of course, what if government is embarking on a public education
using the taxpayers' money
encounter? Your focus is the cost.
And why not?
It's unbelievable. What public education? Government should not embark on a public education. Government should not. Is that your suggestion?
I'm merely asking about the cost. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm asking how much is it costing us?
Why should that even be the
And I'm
focus?
asking you, why should it not?
And I'm asking you whether government should not embark on public education.
You are not answering my question. You pose a question to me and you say, why should it be? And I'm asking you back, why should it not?
But I've given you the answer.
Which is what?
Public education is not part of governance. And your focus is the cost. It's unbelievable.
Well, it's unbelievable that you are suggesting what you are, but you go ahead and make your point.
But I'm surprised. Of all the issues, is the cost of the town hall that will be the focus of your question.
So it cannot be one of the things I would want to discourse on.
Why would it be?
Why would it not be? Let me tell you, even with the NCCE, even a body like the NCCE mandated to do some of these things. If something is done, there is a campaign, I have genuine reason to ask this campaign of national interest, how much is going into it? Is that wrong? There's nothing wrong with that.
Very well, it's fine. Look, you see, I think that the issues regarding this E-Levy is deliberately, and I say so without a doubt that my position is right, being skewed to make it fail. And when I say the NDC posturing, I owe no apologies whatsoever. Because the good people of this country have seen them. How can a political party that participated and approved the budget, that participated and approved the appropriations bill, that authorized government to go and expend, the expenditure includes the revenue from the E-Levy that you have approved. And you turn around and say that I'm not approved the enabling legislation.
What logic is this?
Can you even begin to imagine?
What logic is this?
But of course, you see, the talk about E-Levy is going to solve everything. Is it even factual? Is it borne out by the documents that have been presented to Parliament? Is it borne out by the budget statement that was approved? Because the revenue from E-Levy is less than 10%. But why is it important?
But just to chip in, just to chip in, to be fair, Andrew, we've been told that, look, we have a projection of 100.5 billion. It's merely a projection. When you look at, public sector wages we have to pay, when you look at debt servicing and all of that, and you look at what we're getting, it's technically not, written in stone or etched in stone that we're going to get those sums of money. So in reality, what we have in the kitty, and we've heard the finance minister say that I agree with, those embarking on industrial actions like UTAG and the rest, genuine reasons. But another reality is we don't have money in the coffers. He said it. I didn't say it. So, I mean.
What has that got to do with what I was saying?
It has everything to do with it. When you say that E-Levy is only a fraction, and I agree, it's just 6-point-something% of the 100.5 billion. But the reality is, it has become crucial for you.
Really, with all due respect, has no bearing whatsoever. Because I'm speaking to the problem that we find ourselves in.
Which is what?
When I hear Murtala use words like incompetent, it's baffling.
Why?
Look, why are we where we are? It's important.
It's because of your mess.
It's because,
corruption,
you can call it mess, but I do not think that it would be responsible, it would have been responsible on the part of this government not to pay all the contractual obligations for the power sector contracts that we signed.
ESLA.
Okay.
ESLA, look at the documents.
Oh, ESLA.
ESLA was intended to pay energy sector debt past.
And what happened?
You added excess power that has not been used.
That is not true.
Okay.
So
a quick one.
Please, you took my time, and you're not going to allow me to even make.
You can take 2 minutes of my time. Give him 2 minutes of my time.
Okay, so Murtala will not come in. Murtala will not come in on this point. I'm giving you an extra minute. Go ahead. 1 minute. I'm coordinating this. 1 minute. Make your point.
It would have been irresponsible on the part of government not to pay those bills. It would have been irresponsible on the part of government to allow the banks that were suffering to collapse without remedy for the depositors. All those sums of monies were cost to the state. Now you already have a budget cycle that is laced with so much rigidities that only 3 line items take practically all your tax revenue plus some. And so all those expenditures that you incur, it's all debt that you contract. Now, 2020 comes and COVID compounds the problems that were already in place. Recall that because these expenditure items were not regular budgetary expenditure cycles, that was why government took them out and did the below the line reporting in the same document that they accused government of hiding figures, in a document that was presented in Parliament.
Okay.
And so we are where we are. Question is this, that what is the way out? Do we stay in there and borrow more to fund the expenditure that our revenue is unable to meet? Or we need to find new revenue handles, reduce the debt, and make sure that we bring our economy into some...
Andrew,
the 1 minute, 2 minutes I gave you
we're drawing curtains on the conversation, and I just need you to do this in 30 seconds for me. we have to wrap on the conversation. I know I'll be fair to you because you gave out some of your time to him.
I need
but
to
a quick one, Andrew. Yesterday I was engaging former Deputy Information Minister Felix Kwachiofosu, and Famous Smith sends a message on Facebook that reminds me of something he said. He says, you cannot live a champagne life on an akpeteshi budget, suggesting that is what your administration is doing. In some 10 seconds, can you react to that?
What does that mean to say you cannot
he is basically saying you are not cutting your coat according to the size of cloth you have. You cannot live a champagne life on an akpeteshi budget.
Before, and these are matters that are really unnecessary in putting out in the public domain. But before my political career, I flew first class with the president.
The people of this country.
Murtala, please let him make his point.
You see, that's why I said, you see, look, yesterday, Excellency the President went to Niamey and Abuja on the Falcon because it's a short haul flight. But if he has to do long haul and he has to charter a plane, why not?
Okay. Andrew, thank you.
People think that
we'd have to pause it there. Thank you. I think your point is
I'll give you one example. The Vice President, I traveled with him to Guyana. It is a 7-hour flight, essentially from here, direct to Guyana. We spent almost 23 hours transiting through New York and Miami. Is that how we expect our executive time to be spent at airports?
All right, thank you. Murtala, 1 minute. I beg of you, 1 minute, and let's wrap this conversation.
During the E-Levy debate in Parliament, the same presidential jet they are claiming cannot go a long haul. They used it to Germany to pick an NPP MP. An NPP MP was flown from Germany with the presidential jet just to come and vote in support of
Which member of parliament?
Well, I will tell you. And again,
so tell me.
No.
I mean, you can't just put it out there without
I'm saying an NPP MP. I mean, I'm not under any compulsion, but I can tell you, you can easily find the itinerary. At that time, the presidential jet flew to Germany to do what? But the point I'm making is that, listen, when you ask him of the cost, I was shocked he's saying that what relevance has that got to do with what?
Just make your point.
No, I'm saying that the moment a bill is brought to Parliament, and Mr. Speaker receives it, refers it to the appropriate committee, it becomes a document of Parliament. No amount of town hall meetings can change anything in the bill except what members of Parliament want. So that cost of traveling from one city to another is causing financial loss to the state.
Okay.
Because that bill ceases to be a document of the executive. It ceases. Now tell me, what benefit is it? In any case, didn't you think that you needed to do the consultation before you do this? When they traveled to Koforidua, they went with 32 Land Cruisers. The Land Cruisers, the engines were on for 4 hours.
All right.
They did say, but let me just, I beg you, let me conclude on one point he made that I think is very, very relevant. You see, when you begin telling the people of this country that the reason why we are doing ABCD and COVID has been the justification, I challenge everybody to read the 2022 budget. 32 million Ghana cedis. I'm coming. 32 million Ghana cedis of COVID money was used to drink tea. And in fact, this Minister of Finance, I beg you. This Minister of Finance is telling us that he wants to use 54 million Ghana cedis of COVID funds to set up a new bank. This Minister of Finance.
Thank you, gentlemen. Andre Japa-Mercer is Deputy Energy Minister and Member of Parliament for 2nd D. Murtala Mohammed is Member of Parliament, Tamale Central. And in conversations like this, they never want to end, but we have to cap it off somewhere. We'll be right back with more on the AM show. Stay.